Hello, everybody, and welcome to Inside Cornerstone, your weekly look at everything that goes on in the life of Cornerstone First Global Methodist Church here in Alexander City. I'm Brett Pritchard, and I'm alongside the head pastor at Cornerstone, the only pastor at Cornerstone.
Let's get our facts straight on that, will you?
Hey, well, technically, I was right on both, right?
Okay.
Okay. So, anyway.
Good to be on with you,
Yeah,
Brett.
man. It's another.
Whatever I am, which is not much, I'm glad to be. I'm glad to be here.
You always talk yourself down so much. So, but we're glad to have Coach Coleman as our pastor here at Cornerstone, and we're glad to have you join us every week here on the show. You can find us on the web at cornerstone-fgmc.org. You can go to our Facebook page. You can watch all of our services that are archived there. If you weren't able to watch any of those in person or live, you can go back and watch those. Or if you just want to rewatch them, if you've seen them before, of course, we want you to do that. Again, last week we got the new year started off, kind of welcomed everybody back. Looking forward to an exciting 2024 here with Cornerstone Global Methodist Church here in Alexander City. And, it was kind of a reflection last show, Coach. I had some people tell me it's crazy that it's almost been a year since the church came together and formed, and it does. I guess time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're busy. Time flies when you're trying to figure things out as you go down the road. There's a lot of things, but time flies.
Time flies when you're getting older, too, Brett.
There's no question.
Can I tell you that?
I feel you right there.
I remember when I was 29, it was a pretty good distance to 30. But now I'm 68, and 2 weeks later I'm 69. It just keeps going on and on and on.
The years aren't quite as long as they used to be.
I know.
But we're grateful and blessed for everything we get. And I want to start there today. I don't want to bring in sports. We usually have a lot of topics that we talk about here on this show. One that we can't get away from.
We would never bring up sports.
Yeah, we'd never bring up anything with sports. But one of the things I wanted to talk about carries over from a show that I do prior to this. I do a football, well, not just football, but an Auburn show weekly. I've been doing that show since 2013 now, so good Lord.
Well, I've been wanting to be a guest on that show since 2004.
Okay, well, even way before it was even started. Yeah. So you saw the future. But, we had a great guy on our show today that if you're an Auburn fan, or even if you're not an Auburn fan, you know who he is, Will Herring. Just a great person, a great ambassador for Auburn. I'm going somewhere with this for everybody. This is not an extension of Auburn Blitz, by the way, today. We're going to talk about the service from this past week, too, a little bit later on. We got the next segment coming up. If you have not been in the new youth center, well, hold on. We're going to give you a virtual tour today here on the show. We're excited about that. Got some pictures we want to show everybody. I'll get an update from you to kind of let everybody know where we are with that. So all that's coming. But I want to start here today with something that Will said on our show that I thought related to this show and related to real life. And that's he said we've done a poor job as adults here the last few years, and I'm using the sports analogy of making decisions and making rules for our younger people. And I say younger people because that encompasses a lot of age groups. I don't want to just, pigeonhole. That leads all the way up to college kids. That's college kids down to 3- and 4-year-olds. And, it's our job as the next generation of adults to set the rules and the standards of things that we expect. And I'm talking about, and since we talk a lot about youth on this program and how important it is, that we do be the example and shape the things. And what Will was talking about, Coach, and you can bring this in on the spiritual side.
Definitely.
That we have just turned our back on rules in a lot of things, and we've just let whatever happens happen, and then we deal with it kind of in motion. We want to say, okay, you're supposed to do it this way, but we've thrown all that out the door, and I'm alluding to all this NIL stuff and all that goes on in college football and all. We went from players should be paid to now what we have, and it's a big mess. Nobody knows how to reel it in. And I wanted to attribute that to what we do in life outside of sports, how quickly situations can get away from us in our life when we think we have it by the tail.
I've been a principal, I've been a superintendent, I've been a football coach. If you don't have discipline, if you don't have structure, you got nothing. And that's what this, I hate to say it, but maybe that's what our country has come to.
Well, I think it is.
I absolutely have something to say, and I think it's a spiritual message to this. I have 2 sons. I had a third young man that we didn't adopt Tim, but you probably know Tim, don't you? Well, Tim's like our third son. And so, and what they did is they went to college, and they studied, and they got degrees. And I worked, and it's not about, I love to work. This was a pleasure for me. But I worked hard. I worked my tail off to put those guys through college so that they could get a degree that would support the rest of their life. Tim now was a special education teacher forever. He's now the tennis coach at a junior college. Wesley is a tennis pro and used to be a teacher and football coach, and Ryan is an architect. We have great respect for education and working to achieve who you are and where you are.
Well, I want to say this, and not to cut you off, but I want to dive into
I'm going to need to be cut off.
But I want to dive into what you said Sunday, and it's a little preview of the service we'll talk about a little bit later on.
Sure.
But you looked at everybody and you said, if you're doing something in life and it doesn't have love involved, then it means nothing. You're going
Bible
through.
says that.
Well, that's right.
Yeah,
well,
right.
I mean, but if you're doing it and you don't have a passion and a love for why you're doing it, it's hollow. It means nothing.
You're going to be unhappy.
Well, you did what you did for your kids because you have love for them. It wasn't because you felt obligated to do it. It's because you wanted to do it. You were passionate about it. And in return, what they've done, not that you asked for a reward, but they rewarded you by going out and making something of themselves with the opportunity that you and the good Lord provided for them. I think it ties in perfectly with what Will Herron was saying on my show. We're not teaching kids the value of anything anymore. It's, hey, I mean, and I'll use a shallow example like a football team and a player on a team. Well, if you don't give me X, I'm just going to leave and go to another program that will. There's no loyalty. There's no love, true love or passion for that team you play for. It's just, I'm going to go with the next best offer on the table. It has nothing to do with I'm passionate and I care about this, and this is roots. I want to establish roots. I want to establish a legacy. I want to build something here. I'm just going to fly to the next best offer. And that's what we're dealing with in life now. And look, it's not that we're sitting up here discouraging kids or discouraging adults or anybody for going out and getting the best opportunities that they can for themselves and their families. That's not what we're talking about. But at some point in time, you got to have something you stand for in life. You got to stand on principles. You got to stand on guidelines. And you may not necessarily get everything you want right out of the gate. But there's a certain thing called working towards something. And I think we've lost that in college football. I think we've lost that in the fact that kids that have never taken a snap in college are getting paid exorbitant amounts of money based on potential. And I'm fine with that if that's the structure. But we're not teaching them any stay power or any work ethic. Heard somebody say this on a show yesterday, Coach. You got all these kids are getting paid money. What if they don't go to the NFL and it work out? What if they didn't finish their degree? Or what if they hop from 3 or 4 colleges while they were in, and then now they're out on the street? with no degree, and they're going to an employer and they go, well, what skill do you have? And they're like, well, I got paid a lot of money in college to play football. Well, hope you saved a lot of it, because we don't pay people and we don't hire people based on what you did in college is on a football team.
Right.
We base it on credentials and base it on what you're able to accomplish and what you're able to provide for us. I think we're creating a huge gap that's going to come back here in a few years and bite all of us.
No, it's already biting us. It's already happening. We must set parameters. There need to be consequences when we step over those parameters. We need to build confidence and a work ethic within it. Can I tell a story?
Please.
So I'm teaching sociology, and I'm talking about curfews. Nobody likes to. We don't talk about curfew. That's very offensive. If you say I have to get home by 2 a.m. or something,
right?
Come on. I said parameters are important, and you need those. And then a good kid, really, raised their hands and said, well, Coach, my parents don't care what time I get in. And I said, would you repeat that, please? I said, my parents don't care what time I get in. I said, say that one more time. He said, my parents don't care. Stop. What did you just say?
My parents don't
My
care.
parents don't care. Parameters say, I care about you. I love you. What is the Bible? A Bible is our parameter spiritually, and it screams that we care. We're giving our young people the wrong impression if we let them do whatever that they want to do. If we don't teach them, here's the parameters, stay within them. And build your work ethic up and earn what you get. I mean, whatever happened to those days, earn what you get. You going to tell me that we're not paying those kids to play sports in college? I paid for my kids to get. They got scholarships.
Let me just say this: we've diminished the value of an education.
Yes,
we've diminished the value of the scholarship that these kids get. We diminished all that. That's insignificant now. That's really kind of I expect to get all that now. I don't. It's not. That's the reward that I get for coming to play for this university. That's a given now. That's what we do now. We expect that just is handed. Now I'm worried about how much I'm going to get paid on top of all that. Because, like, when was the last time? And again, I know we got to go to break. When was the last time you heard of a kid being ineligible to play at the college level with all this stuff going on, with kids bouncing from college to college?
Yeah.
Don't hear it anymore, do you?
No.
There is no standard. There are there's nothing, nobody's being held accountable for all these kids just floating around from school to school trying to get the best offer they can get monetarily in today's world. There is no plan for the future. We're not doing those kids justice by the way we have structured, and I say we as adults have structured society that they're trying to grow up and live in. We're not giving them hard things that they don't want to hear. I mean, when we all grew up, our parents told us no, we didn't like it a lot of times, but you had to accept it. You had to know that, look, it's not your time to get this, or we don't need you to have this. Exactly. So I know. So I know we've gotten kind of off a little bit on that, but
I might come out from behind here.
But I think what I'm saying is that Will Herring brought up a good point. I wanted to bring up about youth. We're going to talk about our youth center here in the next segment, and this is college age kids, which we talked about Sunday, how important that is to reach the college age kids. But we've got to do something. You can't just continue to go down these paths and expect things to correct themselves.
This country can't expect.
Well, right. It's a whole bigger picture.
There's no future.
So, up against our first break. Stay tuned. More Cornerstone right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com, today.
Hey everybody, I'm Brett.
Billy?
And I'm Matt.
And we want you to join us each week for Inside Cornerstone. Coach, Matt, excited to have this show on every single day throughout the week leading up to Sunday.
Jesus Christ is going to be glorified in everything we do. You won't just be listening to messages. You're going to be hearing about things going on in our church.
And make sure you join us at our worship services 9 and 11 o'clock.
Join us each week right here on Inside Cornerstone on WAXC TV.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
For 30 years, Derek Blythe has built a reputation in the Alexander City area as the family attorney. He's always been passionate about fighting for his clients because he believes everyone deserves an advocate in their corner. People of his community deserve to have someone in their corner to fight for them. And he loves making lasting relationships with those people and their family. Whether you're seeking child custody, divorce, visitation, looking for compensation after being injured in a car accident, probating an estate, dealing with a contractual dispute, fighting criminal charges, Eric Blythe is here for you.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone. Again, a great way to start the show. I think youth is important to everything we're doing. And we talk about it a lot on here, and it's not the only thing that we do at our church, but we do have a lot of exciting things going on. I did want to tie that in with what Will Herring said. I think a lot of people do, and you know, he brought that up on my Auburn show and said,
Sure.
You know, we're just trying to figure out a way to navigate all this stuff, and I think we failed in our planning and our preparation in helping these kids learn the value of stability and learn the value of having roots and leaving a legacy and standing for something and principles and all that goes 100%. Hand in hand. But we'll shift gears. We'll continue to talk about that, Coach, the rest of the show. But
Rest of the year.
Yeah, exactly. So happy that the youth center is like right here, about to be opened up, and I've got some video Kane is going to put on the screen. Going to give everybody a virtual tour here of this facility. If you have not been in the facility, and for those of you that watch from other communities that haven't had a chance to come up, we're proud of our new facility here in Alexander City. Just a gorgeous facility. Came up in record time. Great people built this and believed in this, and the church had a vision for what they wanted to give our youth and a place for them to go and worship and have, time to spend together. And man, what a great facility. Got a picture of our youth here. We'll let Kane put that up whenever he's ready. And there's a lot of our youth
That's
this
the stage.
past Sunday going over, and they're on the stage, as you just mentioned. That's the stage area of the building, and that's not by far our entire youth. That's just a sample of them, and a group of them that went over after church on Sunday. But Kane, if you'll roll the video, kind of show everybody, Coach, and I'll let you talk about this. This is kind of a 360 view of the building on the inside, and you can see the high ceilings. Got a lot of space. It's got a cool theme to the inside of it. It's just a really well thought out facility.
They've really thought of everything, and you just walk in there, and I'm absolutely amazed. I mean, if it looks gigantic on there, it kind of is. That ceiling is very high. It's got that beautiful black ceiling at the top. It's got the wood that's, kind of like a farmhouse. I call it farmhouse wood in there. You got the tin in there. You're going to have a basketball goal. You got a stage for when you have programs in there, and the youth will be using that. And then they're going to have all the facilities that they bring from the arbor. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff that kids love, like, pool tables and racquetball, all that other stuff. Yeah, ping pong, things like that. So I just think it's amazing. And the ladies from Cornerstone went in there, and we're going to have David on next week, but they went in there and looked at it, and it blows your mind. You look at it. And the best thing about it, Brett, everything inside that building is donated.
Wow.
This is not putting a burden on the budget, so to speak. People have stepped up and made donations. There's going to be a kitchen in the back. Everything's donated.
Right.
And I just think David is extremely proud of that he's not burdening the church budget. People are willingly giving and donating for this. And we taught that last segment, and guys, I want to apologize. Sometimes, I do get a little overboard on stuff. There's no doubt about it. But this is how you invest in young people. The scripture, not giving young people stuff like these ridiculous money figures that are coming out for guys because they can throw or catch a football. We're talking about a spiritual investment in the young people. This is a different way of looking at it, and we're going to use this for God's glory to make a difference in the lives of our young people for sure.
Right, and and I want to go back and kind of preface what we were talking about in the last segment to tie in with all of this. We're sitting up here saying that kids that are talented and have a talent shouldn't be compensated for that. That's not what we're saying. And what we're saying is you can't go to extremes right out of the gate. You can't go from going 20 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone to 120 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone in 2 seconds. You can't keep up, and you're trying to catch up while things are getting further away from you. And yes, some governing body of adults should have gotten together and made a determination that yes, we need to fix this, that the scope of this sport has changed, and we're going to have to meet and figure out what that looks like instead of going, I tell you what, we're just going to let y'all go out and make your own rules and do your own thing. What if that's how we lived our lives in society? What if we just said, all right, we're not going to have any standards. If you want to go in a store and just take something, you just go ahead. Now, unfortunately, we're seeing that happen in this country right now, so it may not be a good example, but if we lived our lives like that and we just said, look, there's no law and order, there's no regulations, you just go do whatever you feel like you want to do today.
And what is best for the kids? That question needs to be asked. What is best for our kids? And by the way, this is not a young people problem. This is an adult problem.
Right.
We're the adults that are creating this system of entitlement. I hate that word, entitlement. We're helping our young people when we show them that you can earn something. And doesn't that feel good? I mean, doesn't it feel good to actually earn something? We're investing in our young people in a little bit of a different way.
Right.
But hey, let's be clear. It's an adult problem. This problem we're talking about, it's adults that created this, not our young people.
Well, right. They're again, we're tasked, like Will said, with setting what we feel like
we have
are the guidelines and the standards for which they need to be raised and have expectations. And we haven't done a very good job of that on many levels. So
what did Jesus mean when he said, woe to him who leads a child astray?
Yeah.
Does that apply to this situation? Of course it does. When we take children or young people down a road that leads to nothing, then we're leading them astray.
I just think we're, again, and I'm not saying all are doing that, but yes, right. I don't ever take it off. You're setting, and what you're setting maybe kids up for failure down the line because you're giving them things now that they really didn't have to work or earn. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, perfect.
And I'm not saying that applies to everybody across the board. This is not carte blanche. This is certain situations where, again, as a whole in society, you raise kids based on what you feel like and what society has deemed, the right of progression. I guess is the right term to use. Is that you don't get a big salary and a job in the real world before you get your degree or before you earn your credentials as a skilled laborer, showing that company that you can actually do that job.
That's exactly
now,
right.
I know the people out there watching go, well, those kids that play football have shown those colleges by their star ranking and by their stats that they can go perform. Yeah, you performing in high school is different than you going and perform at college. And also, again, you get the gift, and I say a gift because it is, because of your talent, an opportunity to go get an education and a full ride scholarship, which we've all diminished to this point. Now it's all about, it's nothing but about money. To me, you're failing the kids when they're not completing anything and they're not having anything that they can fall back on. You talked about your own kids. They got a degree, they're out in the world, they're working. They
had to work to put them there.
That's exactly right, to fall back. And again, if you're blessed to get that kind of money to play a sport and do stuff, that's great. But we all know that everybody doesn't save and everybody doesn't prepare for the future. And we see a lot of financial irresponsibility with young people that maybe haven't ever had that kind of money before. And you can have it one day and you feel like you got the world by the tail, and tomorrow it can be gone. And you don't have anything to fall back on. But anyway, we got to take a break because the light came on, and we got to stick to schedule, Coach. We've already had the law laid to us.
I had a really good statement.
Now, I'm going to let you say it when you come back. Stay tuned. More Inside Cornerstone right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone. Coach, good topic there for the first couple of segments. Hey, great building for our youth.
Definitely.
And again, we had the inside of the building that we showed everybody, showed some of our youth there. Again, we've got a lot of other great things going on in our church. And
Sure.
But I want to shift gears and talk about your services and your sermon from this past week. And I'll just kind of kick it over to you. I kind of, gave everybody a little bit of a preview with what you were talking about with love and doing things because you're passionate and doing things because there's some meaning behind it, kind of tied in with what we talked about to start the show. But I'll kind of let you run with it.
Well,
But you had something you wanted to say.
Well,
first.
my summary statement about the first two segments is I'm going to put it very simple, and then we'll move on to something else.
Sure.
We have to make a decision. The world tells us it's all about us. Jesus tells us it's all about others, serving others. So what are we going to teach our children? Are we going to teach our children that this world revolves around them, that everything is about you? Or are we going to teach them it's all about others?
Have we not trained ourselves in the last several years with these devices here? The first thing, again, that stands out to me because you said, Coach, you shouldn't be self-centered, you shouldn't be self-serving, you should be serving others. But when we talk about people taking selfies and creating their
Think about
their
what that
individual-
is.
Right.
Just think about that.
Well, but that's what
we take pictures of ourselves.
But that's where we are now.
I know.
It's about me and my brand.
Yes.
And what can I do to, you have these things called influencers now.
Yeah.
And I think this is pretty interesting to talk about. And again, try not to get off the subject of going into your services, but
Kane said we can't say anything about sports.
well, I'm not saying anything about
I don't think you are.
I'm-
Kane's
no,
not.
I'm going into.
I'm taking up for him.
I'm going into influencers. I'm going
That's
into
right.
these people, adults, kids in general, that are now. It's an occupation, and again, not a knock. And I think there's a reason people pay money to watch that because people think it's interesting. But basically, all these people do all day long is carry around their phone or a camera, and they just show their life 24/7. And they do things, and some people want to go to extremes, and and that draws more viewers, more followers. Well, the more viewers, more followers, the more money and all that. I know how it all operates, but it goes back to operating in self mode. It's all about me, And I know as a coach and as a pastor and director of youth in the past and kids, that the lesson goes completely against that rule of thumb.
Jesus says, wash your brother's feet. You're a servant to each other. And I carried throughout my coaching career the privilege of being able to lift up what I think is an invaluable truth. It's not about you. It's about your teammates. A great leader, I define a great leader as someone that makes everybody around them better.
Right.
And that young man that came on your show, and I'm not talking about sports, he was a leader. He was a leader because he was about team. And you put others first. What an invaluable lesson that is. And I just pray to God that we lift that up at Cornerstone every Sunday in our life, that this is not about me. We die to self so that we can gain Christ into our life.
You just, like,
so different from the world.
No, it is. Well, I mean, that's what you fight every day when you go out into the world.
And it goes beyond sports.
Oh, way beyond sports.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it goes into every realm that you can possibly think of, where there, it doesn't matter what profession you choose or whatever. And again, I'm not saying, and again, this is not a cut on people that do that. It's just society has trained us to go opposite of what we've learned growing up.
We are commanded to and obligated to have a youth program that lifts up the principles of Christ, and not to put not anybody else down, but that's what Jesus said. He said, "Be a servant, serve each other, put others ahead of yourself." And as a matter of fact, while you're at that, love your enemies too.
Right.
Pray for those who persecute you. Somebody slaps my cheek, I'm supposed to slap the other one too.
I think you told a story months ago when we were talking about doing good deeds, to do them because they're the right thing to do, not to get praise from it, not to expect.
That's what he said.
I'm not going to go out and cut somebody's grass because I want people to look at me and say, "Well, man, look at what he's doing," or for me to go out and say, "Hey, you see what I did this week? I went and cut my neighbor's grass."
Right.
You don't do it to get praise for it. You're supposed to do it.
Jesus said not to do that. Yeah.
Right. So, but again, I think we live in a world where we immediately want some type of pat on the back. We want some type of, that attaboy, look at that guy. And again, if somebody wants to praise you for doing something, that's fine, but you should not do that deed to expect some type of reward.
And Jesus has already said that's not going to warrant a reward, a spiritual reward.
Right.
You're getting your reward for yourself that way. But you want to talk about the message?
Yeah, I'd love to. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, we talked a little bit about new stuff. And I had a blast out there, and I jumped off the stage maybe one last time. But we were talking about...
What did they say to you in the front row to make you go back up there and jump?
Well, I'm getting some flack.
Well, I know you were, but somebody said something in the front row, too.
I have an ACL thing, which hasn't bothered me in 2 or 3 years. I know how to take care of it. But when I jump off, everybody kind of cringes, and I'm not trying to create that. That's not exactly what most services have, is somebody cringing because you jumped off the stage. So I walked around.
You did? You said,
I said, look, I know that some of you it bothers you that I'm jumping off the stage. I said, I'm just going to walk around with somebody over to the right. I heard him say something. I said, what'd you say? He said, well, I'm disappointed because I enjoy seeing you. So I said,
I'm not disappointed.
So I walked around and I jumped off.
It was one of your better jumps, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't taking a selfie one.
No,
I'm just kidding. But let's talk about the sermon
Let's
for a minute.
To the sermon.
It's a new year. So we use that fantastic scripture. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old is gone, behold the new. It talks about how become new in Christ. And we talked about how Christ did that. I did something I probably won't ever do it again, but I did it Sunday. I actually used a scripture from Revelation.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and I went into, you always used to think, Brett, that we're going to heaven, and when we accept Christ, and that means I'm here and I'm going up to be with God up in heaven.
Right.
But in Revelation, it clearly says heaven comes down to us.
Right.
God and that makes sense. God, Emmanuel means God with us. And the story of Christmas is God came to us. It makes sense that heaven would come to us,
right,
and God would join us in heaven. And in that Revelation scripture, it says the earth was a new earth, a new heaven, but God with us. And it was just a sermon where we focused on what happens to our life when we become a new creature in Christ, and how it impacts us, our mind, our heart, and then our purposes in our life all change when we become new in Christ.
You know, in talking about new and being new, I think going into the new year was so good to hear. And how many times the word new said in the Bible? I mean, you read
a
off,
lot.
I mean, what, 7, 8 different scriptures?
Oh, yeah.
That talked about, basically being reborn, new start,
Yeah.
new. I mean, that to me.
I'll give you a new heart.
You
Like Wesley's
you talked
scripture.
about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you went into all those different things, and again, the new year. We talked about this last week on the show, and making resolutions. You shouldn't make resolutions based on. You talked about promises. The only promise that we should worry about or be concerned with is the promise Jesus said, we know he's going to keep his promises. We break our promises. We know that
it's a given.
We say things and we don't follow through with them.
Right.
But that's where your focus should be in the new, is building your relationship with Christ, making it even better.
Absolutely.
So,
well said.
all right, so we'll take our final break. Stay tuned. One final segment right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service, that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
For 30 years, Derek Blythe has built a reputation in the Alexander City area as the family attorney. He's always been passionate about fighting for his clients because he believes everyone deserves an advocate in their corner. People of his community deserve to have someone in their corner to fight for them. And he loves making lasting relationships with those people and their family. Whether you're seeking child custody, divorce, visitation, looking for compensation after being injured in a car accident, probating an estate, dealing with a contractual dispute, fighting.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone, our final segment here. We want to, again, say thanks to all of you that join us every week, and we hope you get something out of our conversation. That's our intent. We try to get up here and not be so formal. I know that, we could read from the Bible and we could do a little bit more structure from that standpoint. But, I've heard a lot of people say we enjoy your conversation and how you tie things in spiritually to our daily lives. And I think that's
part of our purpose.
That is the purpose of the show. Not that I'm trying to give an explanation of why we're up here. But, but we could be more technical, and I know that some of you out there may like that more, and we may do more of that moving into 2024 where we focus on certain scriptures and talk about what that means and, certain stories in the Bible. But I think we do a really good job of tying in, everyday events that we deal with and everybody out there deals with and how it ties into our spiritual life.
And I hope it comes from the heart.
Well, it does.
we don't rehearse.
We're real.
I hope so. We want to be.
I think you just said it. We don't get up here. I don't have a script I'm following.
Right.
It's the only show I've ever done in my life where I don't have everything bullet pointed out.
Yeah.
And knowing the topics I'm going to go, we kind of let
the spirit.
When we have a structure, we know we're going to talk about last week's message, and we're going to talk about current events, and we're going to talk about things going on within our church. Because the whole point of getting that out there. But the talks, we feel like God leads us where we go every week with this show. And again, I think that's wonderful. You put it in his hands, and he's not going to lead you in the wrong direction for sure. But we do have a lot of great things going on in our church. I know we'll have David next week. We showed earlier in the show the youth building. Kane, if you'll show that one more time, because somebody may be tuning in late in the show. They didn't get a chance to see it in that second segment. Just kind of show the video. When you get a chance, you can just roll right to it whenever you get it pulled up. I didn't give you any heads up on that, but just to see the beauty of this building and all of the things that went into this facility, as you mentioned, Coach, the donations, everything in there that's going to go in there that's not even in there yet are donated. And how much, again, to use your word from Sunday, love that went into that facility for our youth.
David himself did those floors. I know it's hard to see the floors in these pictures, but, that's concrete. He took that concrete and made it look glassy.
Stained.
It's absolutely
maybe
beautiful.
Be able to see it in the picture.
You
so
might,
when this video's done, you can.
There's going to be a dedication service on February the 4th.
Okay.
I think it's at 4 o'clock. There's going to be an open house, maybe from 3 to 5, and then a little service at 5 to kind of break it in.
There's the floor.
And there's why we did it right there.
Right.
Those young people. There's the floor. You can see the floor there. Doesn't look like concrete, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's that stain that people go in and put down and really
David did that himself.
Yeah, I mean, David's whole, he's got a lot of sweat equity and
he's excited, man. He's on fire.
That built. Well, I would be too.
I would be too.
And his kids are. I mean, very excited. I mean, my daughter's in the picture. She just talks about it all the time. All of her friends there pictured with her, and then, you know, it's just a group. I mean, your grandson's in the picture, their coach, and
you know
just a
we
lot of
did. Well, you
excitement.
know what we didn't mention
What's
on
that?
Monday nights, and I am over the top with this. We're gonna have college night on Monday nights.
Right.
We're gonna have college. And maybe you said it.
Well,
and
I said
wasn't listening,
we
but-
I said earlier that we are focusing or
Yeah.
putting some
Yeah.
attention on college.
Well, Monday's going to be college night. And, you know, I just think the church, and it's not on purpose, but I think the church we missed the mark on the college.
Right.
We lose them a lot. Statistics will blow you away on the number of young people that actually leave the church after they graduate from high school. And they may come back when they're 30. They start having children, and they want their children to experience
I
it.
bragged. I told you, you know, I know several times. And Wesley is a good example. And Ryan, when they were in school here at CAC,
Y'all had a program. for them.
oh, did we have a program?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it would rival to me any college spiritual program in the Southeast. We had that many students that would come on Wednesday night. They would drive back from Troy. They would drive from Montgomery. They would drive from Auburn to come back to be part of that youth program on Wednesday
That's
nights.
what we want. That's
Right.
what we want. The Wesley Foundation.
The
right?
Wesley Foundation, on any given Wednesday night, there were 80 to 100 students, if not more, and they couldn't wait until the next Wednesday night to roll around. That's how fired up they were. And I say this, I think we've got a group of youth in this community right now, in college and high school and middle school, that you give them a place, they'll be there. It is they're on fire for God and learning and being with each other in a church environment. And you know, they love to hear about, you know, the stories of the Bible. They love to be taught to and given lessons, but they love being with each other.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
And I know you can't give percentages. You have no way of knowing. But what kind of impact do you think that program gave to those young people, and now they're involved in church today? They hung with the church as a result of that.
I think probably over 80%.
Yeah.
That group was so.
That's the purpose of
Oh
that.
man.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to brag for a second, because I think leadership is a direct reflection of the success of anything,
Of
any
course.
organization, any group. You look at who's leading it, and that tells the tale of why something's successful. Sherry Basham was one of the best
Yes.
I've ever seen lead a group of young people. While she was here in Alexander City, and her husband, Jimmy Basham, was the head pastor at First United Methodist Church when he was here. But Sherry Basham, that was her passion and her love. She took that Wesley Fellowship program from a nothing program to well over 150 students on a weekly basis.
That's fantastic.
And a growing and reaching out and drawing more young people in
Right.
and more young people in. My whole point in saying all this, Coach, is you're talking about getting this college program started back. There is a need and a love and an opportunity there to get it right back to those numbers.
That's what we're
again.
praying for. That's for sure.
I'm telling you, it's there.
And I know you're not old at all, Brett, but
Oh,
here
yeah, I'm
you
getting
are
there. I'm getting
some
there.
years later, and you're still talking about it. That's the kind of
Never forget
program it goes
If I
into
didn't
your
forget-
heart.
If I didn't forget it, you know they didn't forget
That
it.
of course not. That's
I mean,
right.
I remember growing up, had a great youth director when I grew up in another church here in this community, and I remember being on fire to go to youth and be a part of trips and do the things. I see that in my children right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my son is at Auburn. Brindley is in the 9th grade. But I've seen their passion by being under the leadership of David and in the programs that they've gone through. They can't wait for the next event to happen.
Right.
They're at an event waiting for the next one to happen. It's like you love breakfast so much, but you're eating breakfast and you're already talking about what you're going to eat for lunch.
I got it.
You know, so that's kind of the analogy of how fired up these young people are.
That's our goal. And we have a facility that will support that, I think.
And what a great show. It's been a good one. And looking forward to having David on next week, Coach. Excited about the direction of our program here. Want to thank our sponsors. Want to thank everybody that watches and spreads the word. Please help. And look, we're not beyond, advice, and we're not beyond input. We're not beyond criticism, for sure. So we'd love to hear from you. If you see us, please tell us. What would you like to see more on this program?
Sure.
And, we'll take it to heart, and we'll try to incorporate it.
I'll jump off this table.
Let's not
if
do that.
need be.
Let's not do that.
It's not bad.
It's a little bit.
Now, getting up on it might be a challenge, but I think I can jump off. Kane will help me.
Maybe down the line. So
all right.
That's going to wrap it up for Inside Cornerstone. We'll be back with you next week for another edition. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
For 30 years, Derek Blythe has built a reputation in the Alexander City area as the family attorney. He's always been passionate about fighting for his clients because he believes everyone deserves an advocate in their corner. People of his community deserve to have someone in their corner to fight for them. And he loves making lasting relationships with those people and their family. Whether you're seeking child custody, divorce, visitation, looking for compensation after being injured in a car accident, probating an estate, dealing with a contractual dispute, fighting criminal charges, Eric Blythe is here for you.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.